Welcome to this week of Rod Chronicles. I'm back in Casper, Wyoming with our good buddies from Crazy Rainbow. You know, I've been looking forward to getting back out here. We had such an incredible time in the years past. And this year, we're gonna show off a little bit what the guides do. Notice I said little bit? It's not a little bit. These guys earn their money, and I'm just excited to be part of it. So hang out with us here this week on Rod Chronicles and go down the river with me.
Traveling the world, fishing, enjoying the great outdoors. Those are things that would have seemed impossible to me when I was a kid growing up in the mountains of West Virginia. I'm a lucky man, and I never want to forget it, and I'm hoping that sharing my experiences with folks will inspire them to do the same. I'm Curtis Fleming, and these are my Rod Chronicles.
You know, guides are characters by nature.
It's okay with you. I'll have you fish with Curtis today.
Great.
Yeah.
But they don't really get highlighted like they should. You know, we were sitting there thinking in pre-production about all the guides that we've had. And a lot of times they might not even make our show. But they do make our show, and they literally help make the show.
So I'll take one of the camera guys with me. We'll put one in the back of your boat and Curtis in the front.
Okay. We'll need to stock up on bugs then, huh?
Yeah.
Being a fly fishing guide, you got to make sure you're well stocked in bugs, you know, tippet and all that stuff. So you got to be well equipped. Chocolate RS2 that we're using during the filming here. Really good fly, fairly easy to tie.
You know, at Crazy Rainbow, every guide that we've personally been with is very, very good. I think whatever one we would have picked out, it'd have been a top-notch show. But Ty got ready and he poured it on for us.
Let me grab lights real quick and
Okay,
I'll be right behind you.
Sounds good, man.
Yep.
We'll see you out there.
Okay.
You know, those guys start a whole lot earlier. They're getting all the gear ready. People do not realize exactly what all these guys do before we even get out of bed.
Slept good. I'll have some breakfast, start the day all right, go fish with Ty. That's why the waders don't fit real well, you know? Breakfast of champions.
You show up for a guided trip, it's not like, you know, the guide just rolled out, you know, roughly the same time you did. It's, you know, you got to prep a lot. You got to make sure, you know, your truck's going to make it there. You got to make sure you have gas. You got to check your bearings in your boat all the time. You got to grease them. You know, you got to make sure your plugs are in. You know, around here, we like to play pranks on guys, so you really have to check everything before you get on the river.
You know, I feel really blessed here. We've got a great staff, and you know, what they do, the professionalism that they provide to the customers really makes my job pretty darn easy. You know, guys like Ty and pretty much my whole core staff, they're returning such a large percentage of their clients. It makes marketing a little bit easier, and also makes client happiness a pretty unique thing, because they definitely get to develop a relationship with the customer year after year, and they definitely kind of become more friends than customers. So I'm really blessed to have the crew that I have, and a bunch of full-time get after it sort of fishing guides.
So kind of being behind the scenes last year, you know, being on the TV boat and not guiding Curtis, I mean, I didn't have any pressure on me. It was all on Blake last year, and this year the tables kind of got turned. But getting ready for a TV show is a little nerve-wracking, because, I mean, you always feel pressure to catch fish regardless. You as a guide are trying to put as many fish to the boat as you possibly can. You know, so I just kind of went in with the mindset is just like, you know, kind of another day, but you know, there is quite a little bit more pressure with TV show rolling, because you know, you want to, every time that indicator drops, you're just hoping it's, you know, going to be a 19 or 20 inch plus fish. When the wind's really blowing hard like it is today, sometimes we'll just cut down to 2 rigs just so we don't have that third fly to tangle up. So tied on that chocolate MacGruber that Blake tied in the shop, and then I'm going to tie on one of the chocolate RS2s that I tied on the bottom here. So,
You know, we got to fish a little bit with Ty last year. Mainly my wife did, and she did really, really well. So Blake's taking the camera boat, and looking forward to spending the day out here with Ty. Come back for more Fly Rod Chronicles out here on the North Platte River.
This segment is brought to you by Fly Rod Chronicles Signature Rods.
Ignition. Liftoff.
You know, Fly Rod Chronicles, we've been doing this for over 10 years now. A lot of things get cut out in a 30-minute show. And a lot of those things happen to be the guides. And, you know, I know I'm Curtis Fleming, host of Fly Rod Chronicles, but these guides, they make us look good, or they can make you look bad. There's so many things that's done behind the scene, and we're gonna highlight it on the show. We're gonna try to do our best to show what these guys go through on an average day.
you know, everybody sees you as a fishing guide. You know, you got the killer nice sunglasses tan line, and everybody's like, oh man, you're outside every day. That's such an awesome job. You get to fish every day. But what a lot of people don't realize is guides are actually rowing all day long, like especially in Casper, especially on the North Platte. We do have private access, but a lot of times we back row a lot of the runs. So, you know, it's rowing pretty much 8 hours straight. It's actually a lot of hard work, and you got to be good at multitasking, because you're trying to line up the boat, you're trying to get the, you know, all the bugs dialed in correctly, you're trying to, you know, tell funny stories, you're trying to, you know, coach them through to help them get better at fishing. You're doing a lot of things out there. It's not like you're just hanging back, yeah, toss it to the right, let's see what happens. There's a lot of work that goes into it.
Oh,
That's all right, you'll have another shot. Lots of fish out here, we're good. Keep chucking.
you know what I noticed about Ty? I'd throw a bad cast. I almost said every now and then, quite often, but he would take the boat and he would position me to get that perfect drift. And again, it's not like he had to say anything, it just happens. And that is a good guy.
Perfect. Nice drift. Yep.
Nice, there we go. Uh-oh, there he goes, there he goes. I remember that well. Ooh. Over in the boat, Blake looks like a proud father, don't he? Huh?
That's my boy.
That's my boy. He screwed up all last year, but he's back. Maybe we should land it first.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Attaboy. There we go. You the man, Ty. That's a good fish, isn't it? Blake's smiling ear to ear. He's like, yep, I taught him.
Do you think Curtis improved since last year?
Yeah, I think Curtis improved. To be honest, he, you know, last year we kind of had just one of those weird fishing deals where right out of the gate we lost, I mean, I don't know how many, but the first 10, 12, we just didn't land for some reason, right? About everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And that's, I mean, we've probably all been there that fish. Sometimes it just doesn't come together, but he obviously picked up on it pretty quick last year. And then, you know, this year right out of the gate, it seemed like he was on it pretty darn quick. So it was, you know, old routine for him.
Last year, I'd have broke my fly line on him.
It's time for Trout Unlimited's Release of the Week.
It's really neat to see different relationships kind of grow out of guiding. When you're doing over a couple hundred days a year, your return client list gets pretty immense, and it's pretty neat to see it grow.
People don't realize how good of a fisherman I am, you know.
He can talk and fish, folks.
seriously, people don't realize how many days that is. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they're not all bluebird days with no wind either.
Right. All right.
Nice.
What is that?
Cut bow.
Cup bow. Nice. Oh man, look at the orange underneath of him.
Good color there.
Look at the fins on them things, man.
Gorgeous. Cool.
Thank you, brother.
Nicely done.
Thank you, man. We'll be back to more Fly Rod Chronicles right after this.
It's Westerville Ecological Services. Time for conservation.
You know, I felt like a little kid and was honored that I could go on site to this restoration project that's being done right here in Casper. They've raised more money than any project that we've been part of. And to see what they're doing to restore this river, you have to check it out for yourself. It's amazing. Al, thanks for having us out here in Casper.
Oh, welcome to Casper.
So tell me about the fisheries here now and the projection of where you want to go with the fisheries here in town.
Actually, the river through town here is already a blue ribbon trout stream.
Yeah.
I mean, when you stack them up, it's one of the better streams in the state already.
Right.
Well, we have an awful lot of areas in town that the river is very wide, it's very shallow, no cover, and it really doesn't provide much in the way of fish habitat. You know, where we've got good habitat, we've got very good numbers of fish.
Right.
This project, in addition to water quality, to reducing bank erosion and everything else, should have a real benefit on fish habitat. We'll have a narrower channel, deeper. A lot of places in town we don't have very good pool riffle sequence.
Yep.
This will restore that.
Yep.
We're quite sure that we'll rearrange fish, that they'll utilize the habitat, and we think that the net results of, we have most of our spawning habitat above town, but as those young of the year drift down through with better habitat, we'll have more, you know, basically take up residence here in town.
Nice.
So numbers should increase.
Hey, thanks for having us out
bet.
here.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work and keep those fish nice and healthy so we
We'll
can
try.
come back and pick on them a little bit.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, again, this show not being so much about me, about being the guide, I got to sit back and see a lot. I got to see the wildlife. I got to see the scenery, how beautiful it is. Everyone's heard the expression, stop, take a look around. I can't tell you how many rivers I floated down and honestly not stop and take that look around. I think going forward, I will do that.
Yep, Curtis. Curtis,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm watching birds.
keep your eye on your bobber, man.
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm going over the moon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So here in Casper, it's really nice that I can almost guide almost every day of the year. Being a tailwater, our water is really controlled with temperature, so it doesn't freeze. Especially guiding with the ugly bug, we have opportunities to wade fish during the winter. So, you know, other rivers you can't fish, but here we can kind of fish year round, and that helps. Our season pretty much goes from March till November, and I do trips almost every month. So,
What do you do on your day off?
right now on my days off, I'm either fishing with other guides trying to figure out, you know, some cool new float or maybe a new bug that's working. But right now it's I do a lot of artwork on my off time. That's pretty much my full-time winter job is drawing.
He's an incredible artist, and he does this with Sharpies. And it's so cool, man. He can take a trout. It's kind of like our on-staff person, Chad C., that does taxidermy work. He recreates the fish, the moment that you want him to, by Sharpie. And he'll put it on your fly box, he'll put it on your Yeti, he'll put it on your favorite cup or wherever. And it's just a pretty cool thing to have.
You know, Curtis thinks they only take 40 minutes, but, you know, it's time-lapse photography, so that's why he thinks it's only 40 minutes.
You know, it's pretty cool. I mean, you got guides out there fishing, guys that spend all their time rowing, all their time in the fly shop, all their time taking care of clients. And I love when I come in for lunch and seeing guides get out there and having a little bit of fun, because they truly, they don't get to do it much.
Stick around. Fly Rod Chronicles will be right back.
I've gotta get there one way or another. I'm a fishing bum.
You know, here at Crazy Rainbow, there's a reason we came back. If they're not fishing, they're thinking about fishing. They're preparing for fishing. All these guys take it very serious.
You as a guide are trying to put as many fish to the boat as you possibly can. Yep.
Yeah, oh, baby, oh, oh, yeah.
Went through the hot spots that we've been hitting the last couple weeks, and Curtis did an awesome job. Yep, yep.
There we go, yes! This is a place where the name came natural, Crazy Rainbow. There's some crazy browns out there too. As soon as you hook them, they do one of 500 things. I think some of them could make the U.S. Olympic team. These fish are crazy. They go nuts. And crazier they get, crazier it makes me feel. I can't, oh baby. Oh, dude, no, he's sticking on. Oh, how cool is that? Ha ha. Oh man, don't make me go home. Let me do this again, please. You know, I've seen guides do a lot of different things when they catch a fish, like, you know, wetting their hands is really cool. You know, Todd, as soon as he nets it, he kind of gives a little tap on the bottom. Why is he always tapping these fish? Maybe he'll tell me what's going on.
Well, everybody thinks it's a superstition. If you watch me, like, I'm always tapping the bottom of the fish when I get them in the net, and people are like, oh, is that a superstition thing? Well, what I'm doing is just getting my hand wet, so when I touch the fish, I don't harm the slime or get the slime to come off of them. But some people are just convinced it's a superstitious that I gotta tap the fish every time.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
that was almost a major guide error.
And I know a lot of people out there think, you got a fishing show, it's blue skies and you're rolling down the river and the fish is always biting. We cut out a lot of stuff.
All right, right side.
Right side.
No, your other right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You think? Should have said. See, I'm in a bunch of
Cabelas.
Yeah. You know, we had a lot of problems with, you know, getting the moss, keeping the moss off your flies. You know, that's a day and a life of a guide.
My job is like 90% untangling stuff, and it's pretty funny, like, just from somebody's cast, you can figure out, all right, the weight went this way, the flies went that way. This is what I need to do. And some of them, you know, nothing nippers won't fix.
Coming here to Crazy Rainbow and spending time with these guys and making the show about them, the appreciation that we have for them, it's given me a whole different look about the job that these guys do and the ones that might not do a good job. So as a fisherman, if you hire a guide, pay attention, appreciate what they do, and reward them for the good things that they do. You know, at Fly Rod Chronicles, the one question that I always get, what do I tip my guide? The guides here, it's their living. They got families, and you know, it's a nice Fly Rod Chronicles hat, but the kids can't eat them. So we try to relate it to like eating at a restaurant. The waitress does a good job, or waiter, 15%. They do an excellent job, 20%. Not very good at math, but if you did, if it's a $500 trip and they're guiding you and they're rowing and it's 20%, Chad, help me with the math,
$100.
$100. So that's what we try to do. We try to be fair. We want their hard work rewarded. So besides the cash, we want to give them a little extra. So we got some really cool things in here, some gift certificates. Christmas is coming up. This will work out pretty cool for these guys. And I just hope this helps. And I hope it makes you guys out there realize that those guys that are out there working for you, getting up way before you get up, getting the boats ready, getting the flies ready, fixing all the messes. When they get you back, they don't go home and go straight to bed. They're tying, they're getting ready for the next day, packing lunches. So appreciate your guides. We try to do it here at Fly Rod Chronicles, and we'd like for you guys to do it as well. And these guys here at the Ugly Bug Fly Shop, they totally deserve it. Well, we thank you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys. Yep. And come back next week for more Fly Rod Chronicles.
I've gotta get there one way or another. I'm a fishing bum.